Hello and welcome to a Project Cars 2 race where today we shall be racing at Monza in a multiplayer session. Something that I haven't done in a while, and this is going to be interesting. Before we get into this, I'm actually driving the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. It's going to be starting in last place, which is kind of ideal with the turn 1 chaos. But pause and take a look at this setup that I have. Pause on each page, note it down, because the car doesn't get a huge amount of love, but I've kind of stumbled upon this setup and it's worked out very, very nicely for me. The car feels very, very compliant and just overall feels a lot more stable and a lot better. So take a note of that and we'll see how this race actually goes down. How many laps are we doing? 9. Okay. This will be interesting. Starting from the back of the grid, so obviously I don't have anyone behind me. The Aston Martin bogs like absolute mad at the start as well, so it's not good off of the line. So that could work in our favour and giving ourselves a little bit more room for what we'll probably see is a ton of chaos down at turn 1. Okay, we didn't bog too badly. It was alright. Launching off the line, we're off. What? Up 1 position already. Someone's got a drive-through penalty, the guy who's currently in the lead, so take the first corner relatively steadily, and interestingly, people seem to be somewhat cautious. This is unusual. This is really unusual. We'll see how the second chicane goes. I'll be surprised if it goes just as well as that did. And it hasn't gone just as well. There's been a bit more contact this time round. Obviously everyone was very, very cautious on the first chicane, not so much the second. Alright, so I do have someone. He was lurking on my inside. He's now there now behind me. We're up into P12, so that's 10 positions already within half a lap. Let's see what we can do with this Aston Martin. See if we can gain a bunch of positions. We're pulling on the Aston, we're pulling on the AMG, kind of there on its inside. It just about gives me room, I think, into Ascari, but not enough. That's a big hop over the curb. Fortunately, not a slowdown penalty though, so he's got a slowdown penalty. So we'll slip past that, wrap into P10. Let's see what we can do in this race. This is very much unexpected. That Ferrari's going. I'm almost going. And that's a big crash. That's just taken place behind us. Either way, P9, clear track, let's go. Come on Aston Martin. Unleash all that power from the V12. It sounds absolutely glorious. The car looks absolutely glorious as well. Car getting a little bit squirrely under braking there, but nothing too bad. Let's try and out-drag this Lamborghini around the outside in turn 3. Giving him room, he seems to be giving me room as well, which is quite good. And one thing that does worry me is how bad this car is on the brakes, especially with other people there lurking behind as well. But he was quite good and gave me room, but he's now on my inside. Into the first Lesmo. Well, that's a little bit of a tap. Pressure me out the way slightly. Car's a little bit squirrely in the dirty air, but I'm quite glad that the race has gone as well as it has so far, and we've gotten into a reasonably good position. As you can tell, I'm running the TrackIR 5. Now I need to look around. I think I may have gone with a little bit too little downforce on the rear. The rear end is quite lively, but it is very good for straights like this. I'm trying to pick up the slipstream and make the passes. Let's see what we can do on the Ferrari. V12 versus V8. Slipstream, he's got a bit of slipstream as well, but I was a little bit closer. And look at this, we're just absolutely steamrolling past people down the straights. This thing is so fast in a straight line. Let's also dive up the inside there of the Lamborghini. We'll take that position, thank you very much. This could be us up the inside of the AMG as well, as he was getting sideways on the accelerator coming out the exit of turn 2. Yep, we're through up into P5. So clear air. Let's see what we can do about this guy up in front then. Okay, run through the chicane, not being threatened from behind, so that's good. And with the clear air as well, the car's going to be much more stable. Ooh. A little bit wide there on the exit, but not too bad. 11 seconds off the leader though, so I don't think I'm going to be getting the win here. And also, it's actually Bo as well, who is the leader of this race. He's one of the drivers in the AOR leagues. He races both GT3 and also in the IMSA Lights Endurance Series. So he's pretty handy behind the wheel. He's a very, very quick driver. Gets some good results in. So I don't think I'm going to be catching him in this race, unfortunately, but we'll see what we can do anyway. Having some fun here in this Aston Martin. I really wish it did get driven a fair bit more. One thing that I have noticed in the various lobbies that I've done prior to this race is the car isn't so good on the hard tyres. However, it is pretty good on the softs, even in these hotter track conditions. So, for those of you who managed to catch a glimpse of the setup earlier, the front left is using a hard tyre and all the other tyres on the car are using softs. You can see on the Motec display there I have the tyre temperatures as well, so you can get an idea as to which of the tyres get worked quite a fair amount. And when I was doing a qualifying session for this race earlier and just doing a couple of practice laps, both the left hand side tyres, front and rear, are kind of pretty stable in and around the same. Shouldn't have touched the brakes there. Unfortunately, we didn't suffer any damage from that, but we are going to lose position, so that's a little bit frustrating. Stop that BMW from getting the place. Coming into Ascari instead. I'm going to have to sit in behind the Ferrari in the slipstream, fight the oversteer with the dirty air, and getting a much better run off the corner as well. Aston Martin OP. Come on, old girl. It's one of the old school GT3s as well that we had back in Project Cars 1. Just look at the straight line speed that I've got over the Lamborghini, Jesus. Just about managed to keep it on the track, get it slowed down, slammed on the anchors. Oh, we just got so much more straight line speed than the other guys. Laughably so. Such insane pace. It is pretty poor on the brakes though. There's certainly one downside, and the car is quite lively as well, as you can see. I remember back in Project Cars 1 it had quite a bit of mid-corner understeer. And the rear is pretty lively on the throttle as well here, but the that setup certainly in the last race at Road America, it just made the car feel so much better. I think here with Monza, where I've dropped the rear wing from 2 down to 1, it's taken off quite a bit of the downforce that made the car very stable at the rear end. There are only 3 wing settings for that rear wing. You've got a choice of either 0, 1 or 2. There's no other notches or anything to it. Gearing in this car is quite long as well, so you do end up using gears, or a gear lower than you would in most other cars, or most other GT3 cars anyway. But even still, it makes for some insane top speeds, as you've seen. It's very quick in a straight line. And providing that you can thread it through the corners, you can have yourself some pretty good racing. And it just absolutely revs for days as well. Oh, that's a bit of grass. Car's moving around way more than I would like it to. Under braking. Just drop the brake bias backwards 1 to 59. See what we can do in terms of lap time. That was a good run off the corner there. I think I probably could have done with both front and rear left tyres being soft tyres, judging by the temperatures coming off of the parabolic. So that rear left is a soft tyre and it's up just over 90 degrees at the moment. On to a reasonable lap at the moment. That rear end does feel very floaty still. As you can see, wanting to break away from me there. I think I need to work the dampers a little bit. The car seems really quite bouncy on the bumps going down the start-finish straight. If I can minimise some of that oscillation, it might help. I did adjust the bump and rebound transitions quite a lot to basically be the softest that they can possibly be, but I didn't touch any of the other damper settings. which I think I might need to do. Suspension have gone pretty much as stiff as the car will go. Softened up the anti-roll bars a little bit. And also raised the front ride height as well. I don't think I'll be able to get the car that's there in front of me, but we shall see. I reckon if I didn't have that spin, I'd probably be up on the podium. Closing up on the two guys in front. Oh. Don't think I'll get them buddy in the lap unless they have a big mistake or a huge coming together somewhere along the line. Going side by side though into the parabolic. They compromise each other enough. May be able to close. Unless they did not. That is a back marker that spun, so that's not a freebie. In terms of position. So instead, I'm going to come across the line in P5. I'm pretty good with that. Pretty happy. That was a very, very good, fun and enjoyable race. Very much enjoyed driving that Aston Martin, the V12 Vantage. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. But otherwise, thanks very much for watching the episode, guys. Hopefully I shall catch you again in the next video. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe, have fun, and take care.